Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel The Python Gurukul. Today we'll be talking about containerizing Python app with Docker. Before proceeding further, I want to highlight that we have two prerequisites. One is Vagrant, the VM environment we'll be using. Another is Docker. If you are not familiar with Vagrant and Docker, I will highly encourage that watch my recorded video number 24 for Vagrant, video number 25 for the Docker. Okay, so let's see what we have. So we will be taking a look at Python app. It could be a simple hello world Python command as well. And then we'll be doing deep dive around the Docker file. Then we'll go through how to create image and then running those image in the container. So far, we have already came across starting from a scratch, going through a class objects and going through all these videos. If any of the video are of your interest, please go through the videos and then let's come back to our Python app. So we will be using one of the PyF directory. Inside that only two file. One is the Python application, another is the Docker file. And a Python app could be anything. For this example, I'll be using one definition where we are defining the menu and we are keep calling the menu. This is how it looks like at the runtime. It will come with a five option. By saying create, it will create something, read, delete, and as soon as we say five, it will exit from there. So now we know the Python app. Now we are going to understand that how the Docker file looks like. So Dockerfile is the backbone. It is just going to help us to drive the image. It will start from something very scratch, and as a baseline, we are using Python 3.10 Alpine image. I'll talk about this particular image in detail, but for now, just think that we got something as a base. On top of it, we are going to run pip install request. We are installing the request library for our Python, which we'll be using in this project. We are copying some dependent file, in this case key.py, to the temp directory of the container. Once we have the key, then we are copying the app. We are copying the app to the temp. This temp, I'm just for simplification, for one example, I'm using the temp. We can use any directory. And then at the end, I'm running the command saying run the Python inside the container and call this particular app. This is all we have. So let's explore around the particular website. This is a kind of registry and we'll just explore the registry. Let's come. So now we are looking at hub.docker.com and we have already selected the Python. Just look for anything here. Maybe say Java. We'll give the image for the Java. But as we are going to use Python, I'm going to bring once again Python. So this is the registry. All the images are available here. If you just say image, we'll take a look at the Python image and we have so many images with some tag. These tags define that what it is, what all it has inside the image. We can see that we have hundreds of the images. I'll be highlighting few of them and let's go back to our PPT and from there we'll explore. So we will be learning about, we can say the Python, then we can specify the tag as a version. We are just saying that Python used this particular version. We can say 3.10, 3.8, or any other version. This is the de facto image. It comes with all default Python installation package. If we are not sure which Python image to start with, we should be just saying Python and the version. There is another one, Python version and slim. This could be the slimmest Python image. But remember, it doesn't come with the default package installation. It comes with just Python and required packages with the Python. And we'll be talking about Python version Alpine. This is the one we'll be using. This image is based on a popular Alpine Linux project. It comes with um, Linux image on top of the Python. So let's move again and one more time. So just to highlight that we have used Python 3.10 and we have keep adding the layers. Now let's go back and take a look. Once we know the image, how we'll build that. We are just saying that run the Docker command. We are calling the build command here. And we are saying -t. We are giving some name and providing the tag. So this particular is the name of the image, and then we are tagging to 1.0. This could be, if we don't provide any tag, it will be by default latest. If you provide the tag, this particular image will be tagged with the whatever tag we provide. And dot, we are just saying that we have the Docker file here, create the build here. Running this command, we have got the image ready. Once we have the image ready, we can use the Docker command to use those images. So a very simple command, we can say that Docker run, give the name of the image, and if we have any default or if we have any tagging, just use the tag after the colon. This is going to say that just run, use the image and run as a container. So now we are having one container and our app is running. This is as simple as. Let's say we want to run the app and we want to interact with the app. In that case, we'll call the command run. We'll be saying I for interaction, and then we are giving the image name and the tagging. We are just saying that we want to run the app in the interactive mode. And the last could be Docker run and land it to the cell itself. So we are saying that the start entry point in the cell, we are just landing to the shell. So we'll be taking all these examples. Now let's change the gear and bring the command prompt here. So already we have the background setup here. We are just going to call the Docker command to make sure that Docker is happy and running. And another command will trigger, will say sudo Docker, and we can say run here. We are just saying that if uh, Docker run this hello world, and if this image is not here, this is going to download the image. It found the image and it said that, yeah, things looks good. And we got the message, hello from Docker. So let's now bring our, let's clear the page and run the first command where we are going to say that, or before that, let us just check that what all we have here. So we are saying ls, and we are making sure that we have 23 GitHub API, our Python application, and we have the Docker file. So this is the one which will be packaging, and this is the driver Docker file, which is going to help us to create this Python app as an image. Let's take a look at the inside the Docker file, what all we have. So inside the Docker file, we are just saying that let's start with the Python 3.10 Alpine image, run the pip install, copy this app to the temp folder. This temp folder is the temp folder of the container. And this particular file which we are giving, this is copying from our local path, from local path to the temp of the container. And then at the end, we are calling the command Python inside the container and passing the path of the container where we have uploaded our Python application. So let me go ahead, say the sudo docker, and this time we are going to say build -t, and we can give some name GitHub, let's say GitHub, and we are going to tag with 1, and we'll say dot. So we are saying build the image and use the tag. We'll be giving the name GitHub, and we are using the tag 1. As soon as say 1, it will start from all the step from 1. It is pulling the image. This image was maybe already available here. It got the image. Then we are running the second command, run the pip install. We are copying the file to the temp. Copy has happened. And now we are running the command. So build is ready. Let's do the sudo docker image ls. And here we are just listing that this is the one we have just created, GitHub, tagged with 1, the image copied here. So now we have the image. We are going to give a try running the uh, container. So let's go ahead and do that sudo docker build, not the build. This time we'll be saying run. And while running, we need to give the name of the repo, GitHub, and pass the tag. We have the tag one. Let's run this one. So we see that we got our command line output. We got the message, but also we see that it just came out, and again we are back to our command line. It was waiting for options we did not give, and then it came out. Now let's go ahead and run in interactive mode. So we'll be saying run, and int- we'll say I with interactive. This time it is going to bring the Python command line utility, and it is waiting for our input. So we are interacting. Now we are running this command inside the container. Let's check the container. So maybe I have emails available or not. So already I'm connecting to the host. Let me go there and say sudo docker container and ls. This is what the image we are using. This is the image. We got the ID, we got the image tag, and this is all the information about the image. Okay. So let me just play with the input. I gave one, we are creating something. I say two, we are reading, say three. We just did the put. I said four, we deleted whatever we created. And now I'm going to say five, which will exit from the interaction. And we are back to this. The last command I'm going to give a try here is that we'll be saying sudo docker run, and this time interactive, but I want to land to the Python shell itself. So we will say entry point equal to, let us land to the bin message and use the GitHub, and this time we'll be using one. And we can see that we have already landed to the Python shell. So let's go ahead, run some command, check what version of Python we have. We have 3.10. Let's see, we have copied the request library. So we'll say import request, and yes, it is there. So this is the way we can interact with the Python, and that's all I had for you. If you like my video, please share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.